Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, orphaned at 6 years old, a little boy loses both of his parents to vehicle crashes.
The accidents happened years apart, but now the family is trying to provide a new life for the child. Fox News' Jessica Dubnak has the story.
Losing one parent is awful enough, but this 6-year-old little boy lost both of his parents in 2 separate traffic crashes 3 years apart.
I'm not sure about what he understands, but he does. What he has knowledge of is that his mom is no longer here.
It's been about 2 weeks since Jamarian Lane has lived without his dad or his mom. Yeah, you like running around? He's just 6 years old, about to graduate from kindergarten Thursday. His mom, Jasonia Cousins, had bought a blue dress for the ceremony, a dress she'll never get to wear.
It's painful because she has so much life and light ahead of her.
30-year-old Jasonia was killed in a head-on crash on May 31st here in Chesterfield Township. The twisted metal splayed out along Gratiot between 21 and 22 Mile roads. She was the passenger in a car her friend was driving on the way to a podcast to promote a mentorship program she ran for women. Her friend apparently lost control, swerving into oncoming traffic.
And they told us she died on the scene. She didn't make it.
That's Jasonia's younger sister, still trying to find the right words to share at her funeral this weekend.
She was strong, independent, loving, caring. No matter what, she was always going to help anybody that needed help. Her doors was open to anybody.
Jamarian lost his dad in 2020. He died in a motorcycle crash just a couple months before he was going to marry Jasonia. He won't really remember his dad, but it's his family's mission to keep both their memories alive.
I just remind him a lot of his mama. Everything she used to do, I just keep the same process going. I'm not trying to change nothing. Everything she had going, I just want to keep going for him. I don't want to change it. I don't want to do nothing different.
Right now, Jamarian is staying with his dad's sister. There is a GoFundMe page set up to make sure that he has everything he needs. Jessica Dubnak on The Edge.
A tragic accident claimed the life of a 1-year-old girl in Detroit. The toddler was hit by a car in the area of Snowden and Puritan on the city's west side. She was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Police are not releasing any more details at this time. Well, some serious allegations against UAW President Shawn Fain.
He's currently under investigation. According to a report by a federal monitor, the Secretary-Treasurer claims Fain removed her authority for refusing to authorize spending to benefit the president's office. And the union's vice president, Stellantis, says his duties were removed and placed under Fain's control. In a statement to Fox 2, Fain says, in part, he's taking the union in a new direction, and that means sometimes you have to rock the boat.
I don't think we got the full story of what's really going on here, but this is a danger for the UAW because if Shawn Fain was caught violating the consent decree, potentially the Justice Department could take over the union.
So far, the investigation does not involve criminal allegations.
All right, well, talking about the weather now, many might call this the perfect spring day.
But if you'd rather have it feel more like summer, you're in luck. Meteorologist Stephanie Mead with a look at our forecast. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, guys. Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of us have been looking for that summertime heat, even though we're officially not in the summer, or at least summer here across the state. We do kind of want to experience those 80s. A few locations possibly touching near 90 by Thursday. We're in the 60s right now in Detroit, 64, 61 Ludington, 66 in Fort Wayne, lower to middle 50s here in Cincinnati. So everyone kind of experiencing that cooler air overhead for right now, but a very comfortable evening. Huge improvements compared to yesterday morning, or I should say this morning too. Past couple of days have been a little chilly to start off. Radar showing a few light returns from northern parts of Michigan. A lot of this stuff is fizzling as it is tracking eastbound, so we're not anticipating any light shower activity overnight. In fact, we stay dry. A few clouds from it, but that's pretty much about it. Upper 50s for an overnight low tonight. Stepping out the door early tomorrow morning, getting ready for work. If you find the upper 50s a little chilly, grab the jacket. Otherwise, we're in the 70s as early as, say, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So those numbers are really going to skyrocket relatively quickly. And we're headed to the mid-80s tomorrow with increasing humidity, too. So it's not going to be a comfortable 84 degrees by any means. You'll notice the humidity around. There might be that spotty shower chance, but I think as a whole, we do see a lot of dry time tomorrow. Thursday, pretty good shot for a few showers and thunderstorms, nearing almost 90 degrees. I think you'll feel more of that humidity around through the day on Thursday, then a little cooler on Friday. Very brief cool down, though. Those numbers are going to move up relatively quickly, especially heading into this weekend. Marginal risk for severe weather just west of the state. Now, just because we're not in at least in the marginal risk or have that risk for severe weather doesn't mean that we couldn't see a gusty thunderstorm pop during the day on Thursday. Now, it arrives relatively late. This is by 8 o'clock. Notice here how that complex is still well out into northwest Indiana. Could see that window of opportunity between 9 o'clock and midnight. With that, too, we're increasing temperatures, so that heat will be around not only through the end of the week, but potentially heading into early next week, with temperatures once again touching near 90. Here's the extended forecast here. Upper 80s to start off Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday of next week, with highs approaching almost 90 degrees. Over to you, Taryn.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. Well, the lead singer of the Four Tops reaches out to an attorney. Alexander Morris is suing Ascension Macomb Oakland Hospital for what he says unfolded after he told the staff he was a celebrity. Morris claims he was labeled as mentally ill due to his statement and was ordered to undergo a psychological exam until a nurse believed him. The singer is convinced this was a case of racial discrimination. In a statement, the hospital says they do not condone racial discrimination and won't comment on the pending litigation.
Well, trial is now underway in the high-profile murder of a Jewish leader, Samantha Woll.
Michael Jackson-Bolanos is accused of killing her during a home invasion. Fox News' Scott Wolchek shows us how each side plans on representing their case.
She was bloody. She was barefoot. She was cold to the touch.
Opening statements underway in the death of synagogue leader Samantha Woll. She was found stabbed to death on the morning of October 21st, 2023, outside her home on Joliet Place in Lafayette Park. 29-year-old Michael Jackson-Bolanos charged with murder, home invasion, and lying to police.
They didn't catch him until close to 6 weeks after her death, but when they did, he still had her blood on a jacket that he wore that night.
That blood, a key piece of evidence for the prosecution, who accused Jackson-Bolanos of both being on camera and tracing his phone to the location around the time of Woll's death. Her security system was off, but motion was detected in her home at 4:20 in the morning.
After that motion ceases in the living room, that the defendant is then on this side of the freeway, on the other side of the freeway, moving away from the scene.
The time frame that they say that this happened in is virtually impossible. Virtually impossible for him to come in there and stab her that many times, beat her up in less than a minute, and then he's seen on camera at 4:23, not 4:24, at 4:23 walking in front of Greektown Casino.
Jackson-Bolanos' attorney, Brian Brown, also says there is no motive for the defendant since nothing of value was taken from the scene. Then, pointing toward Woll's ex-boyfriend, who was the original person of interest Detroit police took into custody before releasing him. That man did confess to the crime, but prosecutors say he had a panic attack after increasing his medication and using marijuana. He will take the stand with use immunity, meaning he cannot acknowledge he made a previously incriminating statement. In Detroit, Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News.
Well, we've entered a period known as the 100 deadliest days. Summer is the worst time of the year for fatal crashes.
Fox News' Dave Spencer takes a look at some of the most dangerous intersections in our area.
Maybe you've seen it for yourself.
Summertime, people get wild.
The heat, people be ready to get off of work. They flying, you know what I'm saying? Inconsiderate, they run those lights. It's dangerous.
They aren't wrong. The period between Memorial Day and Labor Day is being called the 100 deadliest days of summer. That's according to the people at the Michigan Auto Law Firm.
People are excited. They're ready to get out, see their friends, go to the beach, you know, hang out in the summertime. You just have a little bit more aggressive driving.
While more crashes tend to happen during the winter, summer crashes are more violent and could involve bikes and motorcycles and younger drivers. Each year, the law firm uses state police crash data to find the most deadly intersections in the state.
We sort through it and put it all together for, you know, for public consumption. But yeah, it's just public data that's released by the government. And so every year we put that together and just try to do some sort of public service for everybody.
11 Mile and Van Dyke, Schoolcraft and Telegraph and 12 Mile tend to top the list.
You need full coverage. Live on 11 Mile and Van Dyke. You need full coverage. You ain't got full coverage, stay off 11 Mile and Van Dyke.
It's a distinction no city wants to be a part of.
Public places pay attention to this stuff. So, they might install new traffic lights. They might reduce speed limits.
And according to Hewitt, change has come, whether it's roundabouts or Michigan lefts. This study has brought change in the past. This year, billboards like this will go up at those intersections.
Let people know that they're about to enter one of those dangerous spots.
The hope is people will slow down and pay more attention if they know danger is lurking. According to Hewitt at Michigan Auto Law Firm, those billboards will be popping up in the next coming days to weeks. Reporting in Warren, Dave Spencer on The Edge.